Hey everybody, Rich here, South Florida Beekeeping with Rich. So today is the 8-week inspection on the Poppelton Hive. We've been doing them every 2 weeks, but this should be the last inspection that's going to be done on a consistent basis. If we come back with it, it'll be because something interesting is happening. And kind of on that note, and also to harp on something that I get on a soapbox about from time to time, is being prepared ahead of time for what might happen. You see, too many new beekeepers think that all they have to have is one deep and one medium box and they're ready to be beekeepers. Well, they're ready as long as nothing changes. But the one thing about beekeeping is things always change. You need extra equipment. Now, I am set up with all medium boxes. I can pivot in 50 directions. I have got masses of equipment. Every which way I can build anything we want in short order. So I tend to forget about this idea somewhat because I'm already set for it. But with this hive, well, there's nothing here like this hive. And if anything happens, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to hopefully think about it ahead of time. And I am afraid 2 weeks ago we found lots and lots of drone brood in here. So the main point behind the inspection today is going to be looking for queen cells because these bees are so happy they could be ready to swarm again. And if I find frames with queen cells, well, what am I going to do about them? It's not like I have extra equipment. So yesterday I made extra equipment in the form of this shim, which I have a number of these, which I use sometimes if I need to make a deep box out of one of my mediums. I cut and put two rabbited edges in here, the right distance apart to make frame holder for one of these Poppelton frames. Okay. Two medium boxes gives me more than that. That's if it was down here, it would still be more than enough, and it's actually about here at the moment. So we have more than enough room. If I find a frame that has queen cells on it, if I find a frame with queen cells on it, I now have a brood box set up to go ahead and make a split. Uh, do I really need to put insulation over here to fill up the space? Not really. Did I really need to go to the trouble of making these? Not really. I could have drilled two sets of holes, put a little steel bar through here and here, a rod, and I could have just used that. I just like doing it right. So there
Let's
we
get
are.
to it.
Pardon?
Let's get to it.
Let's get to it. It's like always plan ahead. Hello, ladies. Good morning. Ooh, small hive beetles. Kill, kill.
Another small hive beetle, too.
Yep.
Just went under the top cover.
I saw. What we can do about it.
That must be where the bees are corralling them.
Yeah, they'll always tend to drive them up. Whoa. Okay. Here we over here. Ah. I guess part of being prepared is to get your tool out ahead of time. All right. Let's see where we're at. Oh my.
Speak. Tell us what you're seeing.
Well, what I'm seeing, unfortunately, is that there was just a touch of cross combing here.
Uh-huh.
But it's happily on honey storage frame.
Look at all that beautiful honey. It's uncapped still, but it is gorgeous.
Yep, and it's way the heck over here.
Where it's supposed to be.
Now let's take this one out and just set it over here out of the way so I have some room. Yeah, they're doing an awful lot of this. Making bulges on their corners. Oh, now that's a little weird. Well, I guess that just now happened. Oh, I see. You're still alive. You were just soaked because that broke off.
A lot of drone brood in there.
Drone brood way the heck over here. You can see this is basically not where it's supposed to be. There we go. I think that this kind of pulled that way when I pulled it out. All right, that should fix that. Go ahead and put that over here so we don't bump it. Ow. I'm afraid they are getting a little hangry because we're coming towards the end of things. Although the Peltiforum tree down the street just started blooming, and it's going to bloom for the next month or so. And they do love Peltiforum, otherwise known as copperpod or yellow poinciana. I wish I understood why they so consistently build those bulges. I mean, it's not like they're not starting in the right place. They are. You can see it right here where my finger's wagging. They're starting in the right place. They're just bulging out at the ends a whole lot.
And so
more.
much drone brood.
That's a little worrisome. Hey folks, in the interest of brevity here, what we found was a couple of frames at the perimeter with drone brood. Then the rest of the frames had beautiful patterns of regular brood, and then the older frames, the brood had hatched out. We found a couple of dry queen cups, small ones on the edges, no sign of a queen cell anywhere. We did not find any attachment points between the comb and the sides anywhere along here.
We sped this up. And really all we saw here was really nice solid brood patterns. And again, no queen cells.
Okay, so here is the frame that I dropped in the middle of the brood nest. Okay. They've laid brood, it's hatched out, so it's still hatching out. Looks like they might be putting a little bit of nectar backfill in some of them. Not too much yet. Other side. Any sign of queen cells?
Don't see any.
There's a queen cup. So we're seeing a lot of big hive attitude here, a little testiness on the part of the girls. Uh, but beyond that, just lots of beautiful comb until we find a spot where some cross combing happened that screwed things up.
And we really probably are going to have to wire these frames, but I don't think you can do that once they've got comb in them, can you?
Yes, I can. I have a plan.
Oh, good to have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like we're going to have another video out of that.
Yep.
I think this is about the spot where you found, well, I'm not going to give it away.
Big mess over here. Big mess. Oh my goodness. So right here, the honey was all across. Oh, this is going to be a mess. There's going to be some drowned bees in here.
You may want to take another look at how Poppelton actually made his frames. Because I'm wondering if there's some kind of a technical thing that didn't get done exactly the same.
I'm doing well enough with the way I made the frame, dear. That's not the problem. It's just bees sometimes don't read the manual. I need to walk past you and set this frame somewhere so I can get in there and clean up this mess. Be consistent.
And that's the last two frames before the follower board.
Yeah.
Guess you're going to have to give them more on that end.
Oh, man. I'm sorry, guys, girls. I just had to let that whole thing collapse into the bottom because there wasn't anything I could do about it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Just wanted to see.
You just like recording my screw ups.
Hey, that's why we film this.
True enough.
If nothing interesting ever happened, who would watch?
Yep. Oh my, what a mess. What a mess. What are the chances I'm going to be able to grab this without pinching a bee and stuff?
Oh, wow. Yikes. Yeah, I guess if you're going to set up robbing behavior, best to do it way over there.
Yeah,
that's what's going to happen with that particular piece of comb. So we either have to wire these frames in or rebuild the sides so there's more bee space.
One has nothing to do with the other, dear.
Between the side of the frame and the side of the hive.
We need to wire the frames.
Yeah.
Which there is no mention of Poppelton wiring any frames.
Nope.
So, I mean, he was using pure Italians.
And we're using scut mutts.
And we're using scoot-a-lot of mutts. And I'm thinking the pure Italians probably did a better job of bracing.
Scut mutts. Yep, scoot-a-lot of mutts. Oh, a lot of bees down in that back area. Hmm. Ooh, did you see that?
Yes, dear, I saw that.
In case you didn't see it when you're watching this, we just saw a few little sparks come out of the spout of the smoker. You don't really ever want to see sparks.
Not a good thing. Well, I am not going to give them another frame at this end. I want to encourage them to work on what they're doing there.
But we didn't see the queen, and we didn't see any queen cells, which is what your main concern was.
Nope.
But there were a lot of bees on that side wall, so they can clearly get around the other side of the follower board if they really want to.
Oh yeah. I don't make the follower board bee proof. They have a super highway underneath there to move from one side to the other.
So then remind me what the reason for the follower board is.
Well, it just tends to stop them from drawing comb any further. Ow.
Well, that one you didn't squish.
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I had my finger right here and pushed down on her. She was
okay.
like this one. She was hanging out over there on that drop of honey.
Oh, I see. He's going really slowly because he doesn't want to squish any bees or behead them, or but they don't seem to appreciate his efforts. They keep getting in the way anyway. So since you don't have to make a split,
Yeah.
are you going to give them more frames in the brood chamber? Or are you going to give them more frames at the end?
Nope, I'm not going to change my frame setup at all.
Okay.
I want them working back inside what they have.
Okay. I am 100% sure they're going to take your wishes into consideration.
No, that's not going to work. Because this side is all bulged out, and that side is bulged out in the same spot.
Weren't those the first two you took out? Weren't those the first two you took out?
No, the first one I took out is there, and that's
right.
over this way.
Right. So those two frames get to move over, and then that one goes in.
We'll see. It definitely doesn't go here because we have an equal bulge there too. Oh, this one's flatter. Do note this though. All right, this is one of the experiments. Check how nicely they attach to the sides on the internal little skewers there.
Yeah.
I still think they'll do better on wires.
Well, the skewers are working though.
Yep. They're easy, they're cheap, they're very
And I've
little
seen
effort.
some of the oh, what are the really long ones called? I forget. Lay-ins?
Lay-ins frames.
The lay-ins frames where they put a skewer horizontally across the middle, and the bees will attach down to the bottom of that one.
Yep. And you can see lay-ins frames that are wired side to side. You can see lay-ins frames that are wired top to bottom.
Yep. So you can experiment with those. See which way.
Not on this hive.
See which way
this hive is only designed for one set of experiments, not endless experimentation.
Oh sure. You could always wire up empty frames different ways and then stick those in.
Yeah, well, do that, I have to build them first, which is what I'm going to do this afternoon, is build some frames.
Yep.
Oh, I hate this. Yeah, come on. Why are you girls building all this fat comb? Ow! Now that's not me. It's right through my t-shirt.
Yeah, that's why I moved back, because I was getting a little too much attention here. So I am also that's just in shorts and sandals.
I would rather take a few stings than wear heavy gear in South Florida summer.
Oh, this is true.
It's all a matter of what your tolerance is. I tolerate stings better than I'm going to tolerate the heat.
And I forgot to put my neck fan on, so I've got sweat running down my face into my eyes. So the sooner you could wrap this up, the more I'll appreciate it.
Okay, we can wrap it up right now. Well, there were no queen cells. A couple of small queen cups, not serious queen cups at all. Yeah, that skewer idea worked real well. I'm extremely disappointed in the fact that they don't seem interested in attaching to the sides. This comb is very unstable. If it wasn't for the heavy insulation in here, I would imagine
some of it would just
melt. This stuff
melt.
would all be collapsing into the bottom, which is what used to happen with my top bar hives.
Yeah.
That's why I went away from top bars. So I'm not all that thrilled with the performance as of today. Okay. Well, we saw what we came to see, and I'm just going to give them some time here and hope. Today is July the 14th.
Yes, it is.
June the 20th is over 3 weeks ago. So they should be getting the memo by now that, hey, they need to consolidate and start shrinking a little bit, because if they go much further along here, we're going to be in some serious problems in terms of space in here. But bees should start thinking in terms of preparation for winter. They should start reducing their numbers, backfilling brood areas with honey, and consolidating things. There's no capped honey in there, just lots and lots of uncapped nectar. That's pretty normal in South Florida.
Especially when it's raining as much as it has been.
Yeah. I mean, I've measured honey that was at, uncapped honey that was at 17%. Believe it or not, I mean, it was ready to go. Just they don't cap it. And before you know it, they're going to start cleaning out all that honey. So this is it for Rich, South Florida Beekeeping with Rich. My wife's doing the bee running up her leg dance over here. So I think we better close it down for today. Have a good weekend, everybody.